more in her 22 years than most 80-year-olds. Now, you all know her from hit Nickelodeon shows like Victorious and iCarly, and of course, Zoe 1-on-1. But she's so much more. She's an ambassador for JetBlue's Soar with Reading. It's an initiative that donates free books to kids in need. She also has a new movie titled Naomi and Eli's No Kiss List, and there's tons to talk about. So let's just get right to it because I know fans are excited. Victoria Justice is here with us to tell us more. Hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited. First, let's start talking about JetBlue's Reading Initiative. This is so important. What is it all about, and how are you involved?
This is my second time partnering up with them, and I just felt like it made sense for me to be an ambassador for this cause because reading is such a huge part of like who I am, and it's been a huge part of my childhood and into my adult life. And without reading, I don't think I'd be able to be where I am today, you know? And I wanted to be able to help JetBlue spread the message and to help get books to kids in need. I think it's so important to expand your knowledge and your imagination and inspire more creativity. And I think overall reading just personally makes me a better person. So.
And it makes you a better actress as well because you had to be able to read your scripts and also those contracts.
Yeah, that's right. You got to read that fine print, you know?
And so that's what's so great about initiatives like this. And it's interesting because not only do you love books in your own life, but also your new film is based on the young adult novel Naomi and Eli's No Kiss List. Now, this film is a refreshing take on friendship and romance. Talk to us about what it's about and who you play.
So it's, like you said, it's based on a book. The authors also did Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, which I'm a big fan of. But it's a really cool, like, modern day coming of age story. It's about these two best friends, Naomi and Eli, who grew up in the same apartment building across from each other. They have a very, like, codependent relationship. And Naomi is, like, not so secretly, very hopelessly in love with Eli. But the only problem is that he prefers boys. So, you know, that's a little bit of an issue there. And I have this relationship, this boyfriend that's kind of out of convenience, and my best friend Eli ends up falling for him. And it's just really about, I don't know, growing up and becoming your own person and sometimes letting go of the people you love in certain ways to be able to let that relationship flourish and become what it's supposed to be.
And let's be real, we've all had that friend, or many of us have had that friend who we had this huge crush on, but they aren't interested in us, not because they're not interested in us, because they're playing for the other team.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think it's something that a lot of people will be able to relate to, you know.
What have you learned about friendship and romance in filming this in your own personal life?
What have I learned about friendship and romance in filming this? Gosh, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I guess love takes on so many different forms, and it's been really cool to be a part of a young adult novel like this. And I love supporting organizations like the Trevor Project that support like gay youth and that sort of thing. So
it's extremely important, and your Victorians are going to be thrilled. We have a comment here from Twitter. Oh my God, let her say something to the Victorians. And they are definitely going to be introduced to a whole new genre with this film, many of them, and it's exciting to have your fans grow up with you.
Definitely, it's so exciting. I mean, I think they're really ready to see me in a role that's a little bit older and to do something a bit more mature. So yeah, I'm super excited. Hi to all the Victorians. Thank you guys for watching. They're the sweetest, and I'm so humbled and honored to have their support every single day. So hi guys, I love you.
And to that point, HuffPost Teen wants to know, how is this role different from roles you've played in the past?
I would say this role is different than roles I've played in the past because, God, I mean, I think, you know, it's a very modern day coming of age story, like I said, and exploring like new kinds of love, and it's definitely it's edgier and more mature than the other films that I've done. It's, I think, very real to like young adults now and what they're experiencing, what they go through.
And to that point, we have some young adults right here with us, some diehard fans in our HuffPost Live community who cannot wait to join in, starting with Taylor. Taylor, you were one of the first people to bring your excitement to this conversation.
Hi.
What are some goals you have in having this conversation with this fantastic woman?
Oh, thanks.
I actually have a question for you. I was wondering, are you planning on releasing an EP or an album anytime soon?
That's a really good question. I mean, I love music so much, and I've been working on music for a while, but I don't have like a specific release date coming up anytime soon, but I definitely would love to release an album either probably like sometime next year or early next year, but music is such a huge part of my life, and just because, you know, I've been focused more on acting now, I'll never forget about my love and my passion for music, and I can't wait to be able to share my own personal like stories and experiences that I write with my fans. So
are you
stay tuned?
You know, just because you're not singing, you're not releasing an album, doesn't mean you might not be working on it. Are you journaling? Are you coming up with ditties?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I said, music is such a huge part of my life, so I'm constantly writing down thoughts and feelings and little you know, pieces of like poetry that I could form into a song. So yeah.
What's your favorite song on your playlist right now?
Ooh, my favorite song on my playlist right now. I'm really loving a song. It's kind of a throwback by, it's called "Don't Dream It's Over" by Crowded House. I really love that song a lot. Yeah.
I love how throwback for you is such a different phrase.
Yeah.
It was, you know, a few years ago. When I think throwback, I think the 80s. But
well, no, it is from like the 80s.
Is it from the 80s?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Song,
all right,
yeah.
well, look at this. See, here's the thing. Victoria knows all, okay? And she is with it from multiple generations. Francisco actually is going to be joining us. He couldn't join us live, but he has a video question. Let's take a look to see what he wants to know.
Cool.
Who is someone you would like to work with musically or acting-wise that you haven't worked with yet, and why?
Hi, Francisco. Someone I would love to work with musically. Oh God, there are so many people. I'm a huge like Coldplay fan. I love Chris Martin. I'd love to be able to work with him. With Pharrell, I think he's super talented and cool. So many people. As far as actors, I'm a really big Meryl Streep fan, of course. I don't think there's, you know, any actor who wouldn't want to work with her. And I love Robert De Niro and Cate Blanchett and Kristen Wiig. I love Kristen Wiig. She's like one of my heroes. Her and Amy Poehler. I love all those girls. So great. Mindy Kaling.
I think you could totally be in that
Thanks.
pack of women.
That's such a compliment.
One
Thank
of
you.
the things that people love about you and myself as well is you're so chill and grounded. You know,
Thank you.
You've been in this industry though since you were 8 and probably before, but you got your start in commercials. How have you stayed so even keeled and so calm and collected?
You know, I don't know. I think I'm really lucky to have an amazing family that's been an incredible support system for me. You know, I'm originally from Hollywood, Florida, and when I was 8 years old, I saw a kid in a commercial, and I told my mom, like, look at that kid. He's, you know, I want to do that. I think I could do that. And my mom was like, okay, sure, well, let's give it a try. And so, like you said, I started out modeling and doing commercials and whatnot. And I think just having that support from my parents has been really, really important to me.
Well, you have fantastic parents, it's obvious. But look at baby you. We're just looking at you in the screen.
Oh, I know,
You're
from
so
The Sweet Life.
Cute. And you've basically grown up on the camera. You've experienced puberty of the most difficult,
I really have.
challenging time in life on camera. Were there ever any difficult moments? Did you ever like get your first period on set or anything?
That's a question I've never been asked before. I don't know if I can think specifically about that. I mean, but you're right. I mean, I definitely have like really gone through all those stages on TV. You know, like I remember when I was cast on Zoe 101, I was the youngest one. I was 12 years old, and I was like this like twiggy little girl. I was so skinny and on my limbs, and I was just like, hey. No, I mean, people, especially in the media, they always try and like pit like teen stars against each other, and like, are they feuding? Are they feuding? Like those sorts of things. But no, I mean, there was never any feud or anything like that.
Yeah, so let's set the record straight, because everyone always is like, okay, you had to be feuding with someone, right? And Ariana Grande,
Always.
people think that you had some kind of falling out. Is there anything you want to set the record straight about that?
I mean, yeah, I've already like set the record straight so many times. But yeah, I mean, there's no feuding going on right now. You know, she's doing her thing, and I wish her the best. And I'm really supportive of all my Victoria's castmates. You know, I think they're all doing really cool, great things, and I'm super happy for all of them, genuinely.
Is there anyone that you hope to be reunited with? In the same way you want to work with Kristen, you want to work with all these other people, is there someone who you hope to work with in this new phase of your career?
Ooh, so many people. I would love to, I mean, as far as like, I'm trying to think. Oh, as far as like, what do you mean, like a sing musically or acting wise or sky's the limit, whichever. Gosh, I don't know. I mean, I would love to work with, like I was saying, Mindy Kaling. I love her as a writer. I think it'd be really cool to pair up with one of those ladies and to be able to kind of like maybe develop a show or something and to kind of gain some of their wisdom as far as writing wise. I feel like that would be a really awesome experience. I love women who are not afraid to poke fun at themselves and are kind of fearless when it comes to comedy. That's just a quality that I really admire and something that I have a lot of fun doing. And I also, sorry?
And you've done it too, because you did it with Chelsea Handler in Fun Size. I mean, that was really amazing.
Yeah, I did Fun Size. That was really, really fun. And yeah, and Outskirts, the movie I have coming out this November 6th, is also a high school comedy coming of age story. I play like a very kind of misfit girl who is, you know, not one of like I'm not like glammed up or anything at all. It's like very quirky and very different and fun.
We have a comment coming in from Periscope. Our Periscope fans are watching you right there. Say hello.
Hi. What's up?
Periscope wants to know, are you interested in playing any superhero roles? Superheroine, perhaps, roles.
Superheroine roles. I've actually never thought about this. I mean, I feel like because my last name is Justice, I feel like it would only make sense for me to be a part of the Justice League, you know?
I love
so
it.
maybe like some Wonder Woman action, that could be cool.
I could see
I'm not
you.
opposed to that.
Super lasso. Some awesome
Be
moves.
awesome. Yeah.
We have another fantastic community member coming in right now. Gracie, you are from our HuffPost Live community. How are you? You have a question right here. Let's check it out.
Hi Victoria, it's me Gracie. So my question is, what's the difference between like working on movie sets and TV sets, since you have worked on a lot of different sets through your career?
Hi, Gracie. I know Gracie. She's actually like one of the sweetest girls ever.
Okay, she's gonna freak out. So you actually know some of your fans.
Yeah, totally. I like talk to a lot of them consistently and have met a bunch of them at different like signings or whatever and concerts, and yeah, they're awesome. But she's really cool. So the difference between working on a TV and a film set. Well, when I was working on Victorious, it was a multi-camera show. So that means that it's kind of filmed like a play, basically. So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday we rehearse, and then we have a run through with all like the writers and producers to make sure that the jokes are working and that sort of thing. And then they do rewrites, and we get another script the next day, and we rehearse the new material. And then we shoot Thursday and Friday, and we would shoot Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday if we had a performance in the episode. And that was also an interesting experience because when you're filming a sitcom like that, we didn't do it in front of a live audience, but we would have people laughing on set to know like where the laugh track would come in. And so that's been my TV experience, I guess. I also did Zoe 101 was a single camera comedy. And then I guess doing film is just, it's more in-depth character-wise as far as like doing your character research, I feel like. And it's much more intimate. It's a very intimate experience, and yeah.
So there's film, there's television, but then there's also in-person events. And one of the things that you get to do, I think, in person, which you don't necessarily always get to do on screen, is really change up your looks. You recently talked to Cosmo about your evolution of red carpet style. I just would like to say that we began to get a ton of shout-outs about this fantastic braid. I actually saw the progression of the braid in the makeup room. It was amazing. You have an amazing stylist here with you.
Yeah.
How involved?
Laura Polka, what?
How involved are you in your style, in your sense of self, and how has that evolved since you started doing your first red carpets?
I think I'm super involved in my style and my sense of self. Yeah, I mean, I don't wear things that people just. I think sometimes people think when you're a celebrity, like you have a stylist, which I do have a stylist I work with. She's amazing, Madison Guest. I love you. But I think they think that people just tell you what to wear and that sort of thing. But it's actually a very collaborative process, and I'm very specific about the clothes that I like and the style that I have, and I always want it to feel very me. And I totally zoned out on the rest of the question.
No, it's totally fine. It's just the evolution. I mean, that's what it is, right? It's just figuring out what style works for you. Of course, people want to know if there have ever been any wardrobe malfunctions right here. VJ Feathers, what's the most embarrassing thing that has ever happened to you?
The most embarrassing thing that has ever happened to me. Ooh, there's been a lot of embarrassing things. It's hard to pinpoint just one. Let's see. Well, one thing, like wardrobe-wise, embarrassing that happened is that I was in New York for Fashion Week, and I was at the Rebecca Minkoff show, and it was very windy, and I was wearing this dress with these gladiator boots, and there was a ton of paparazzi waiting outside the event. And I was walking out and smiling, and all of a sudden this huge gust of wind came and like blew up my whole skirt. And so I like grabbed it like this, and I made this really unattractive face as I was doing it. So there are like all these pictures everywhere of me, like, you know.
Were you commando?
No, I was not commando. I was wearing underwear. I always wear underwear.
You always do, never commando.
No! Oh my God, no! I could never.
One thing we're sure of, whenever these things happen to you, no matter how frustrating they are, in the moment, you shake it off very quickly, right?
Thanks.
You post a lot of motivational quotes on Twitter.
Yeah.
And HuffPost Teen also wants to know, what are some of the mantras that you live by and that you go by on a day-to-day basis?
Ooh. I mean, I think having an attitude of gratitude is something that is really, really important, honestly, because I feel like sometimes we get so caught up in nitpicking the things that are wrong with us or wrong with our lives, and that can make us anxious or depressed and those sorts of things. And I think at the end of the day, we just sometimes have to shift our perspective and shift our awareness to all the good things that we have. Yeah, I think that's something that's really important to me.
It is really important. Though again, you do have ups and downs and bumps. Has there ever been anything that you've had to specifically overcome, like a stereotype, for example, or someone thinking you can't do something because of so-and-so or what, that you've said, you know what, nope, I'm going to regroup and get it together and win?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like, this business can definitely be a challenging one, and I've dealt with some challenging people and experiences along my way. But I think at the end of the day, it's made me a lot stronger. And especially being a kid in this industry, I think it's always important to respect your elders. Obviously, I've always been taught that. But at the same time, I think it's also really important if someone is doing something that you don't agree with or is not making you feel good, I think it's important to be able to speak your mind and be able to speak up for yourself respectfully. So I think that's something I've learned over the years.
And so many people are dealing with this. So many of your fans are dealing with self-confidence issues or struggling with anxiety or low self-esteem. What's your advice for people trying to figure themselves out? As again, you've been doing this since you were 8. There's no one under more scrutiny than a young actress, right?
Totally.
So you obviously have some.
Be a politician. If I was a politician and an actress, I'd be under a lot of scrutiny.
Is that in the cards? Are we going to be seeing Victoria for Prez?
I don't. VJ for Prez, I don't think is necessarily something I have my sights set on. But no, I mean, I am interested in like getting involved in causes that are important to me and helping people. There are so many people suffering around the world, and to try and make the world a better place, I think, is something that's vital.
So we see you being involved with the Trevor Project. We see you are involved with JetBlue Sword Reading. Are there any other causes that are important to you that you're working with?
Yeah, I also work with DoSomething.org. I've done several different projects with them. One was for H&M to get people to recycle their clothes, whether it was like bed sheets or curtains, anything to make like sustainable fabrics. I've also worked with like getting people to make Valentine's Day cards for seniors, which was something that was really sweet. I also work with an organization called Girl Up that was started by the United Nations Foundation, and it's all about giving girls in developing countries a chance for a brighter future and getting them school supplies and just bringing more awareness to them and to their hopes and dreams. And we can't, forget about these girls around the world who are really just like us, but are in really unfortunate circumstances.
So you're working here at home, around the world, you're all over the place. You're working 24/7 as an actress, as a musician, but you have time to chill too. We cannot expect Victoria to do nothing but work and work and work. So Periscope has a great question. I love this one. Okay. What is the last show that you binge watched?
Ooh, the last show that I binge watched. I'm trying to think. What has been the last one?
Do you watch TV?
I watch a little bit of TV. I don't watch a lot of TV, to be honest with you. I'm more into like film, I guess I would say. Like I watch a lot of documentaries. I love documentaries. I just saw the Amy Winehouse documentary, and it was incredible, and I'm such a huge fan of hers, and it was amazing to be able to see that. And
as an
it's a sad
artist,
story.
how does that affect you? I mean, you have the support of amazing parents, right? And then you
Yeah.
have the juxtaposition of Amy's situation.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, it's a really, really sad story. It's really sad what happened to her, you know? I think she had a lot of demons, obviously, and had a very addictive personality. And unfortunately, I think people weren't able to didn't step in as well as they needed to. And I think it's also so hard when you've hit that level of success and fame like she has. Like I was so disgusted in the documentary watching, like when she was going through these terrible times of drugs and alcohol and just being a mess, and the paparazzi just like all up in her face and knowing what she's going through. But it's just like, I don't know, that just really upset me. But yeah, but at the end of the day, she's like an amazing talent that will like forever live on and has inspired me in so many ways. So
How specifically has she inspired you?
just as a writer, I love her lyrics. I love that she's so honest and genuine, and I love that she doesn't, like when you see the documentary, you'll see she doesn't care about the fame aspect of it at all. It's not about that for her. It's about the art, and it's about making music. And I really respect that.
It's hard because the fame is how you get to make more music, and the cycle continues.
Right.
Is there ever a time where you just want to just take a moment and just completely do you ever get to do that? Do you ever get to just take like a month off and go to some island and just chill?
I've taken a little bit of time off. Yeah, I should probably look into going to an island. That sounds awesome. I don't know
You're
why I
not going
haven't
to
done
an
that
island.
sooner.
Where are you going?
I don't know. I'm such a homebody. Like I love where I live in LA, and I just like to hang out at home. I have my 2 dogs, Sammy and Sophie, and I'm super close to my family and my sister, and a few really close friends, and it's kind of just like what I've been doing, you know? I don't know.
Well, LA is a complete island. Anyway, it's not an island actually, but it feels like paradise all the time, 24/7.
Yeah, we're really lucky with amazing weather.
Well, many people not only love watching you, they're not only Victorians, but they wish they could be you. Of course, that's one of those loaded issues, right? Do you have any advice for aspiring Victorias? Or is it, don't aspire to be me, aspire to be yourself. But if they're interested in following suit, in going the performing art route, what might you suggest?
I would say just work hard. If being in this industry is something that you really want to do, I think it's important to just study as much as you can. Study people that are great at it, whether it's other actors or musicians, learn from them, really be a sponge and soak it all in. And I would say, whether it's taking like drama classes or theater at school or taking improv, I think is really useful and important to keep you like quick on your feet. I think that would probably be best advice. And I think I would also say industry you get told no a million times more than you get told that yes. But if you truly love it and you work really hard at it, then when that yes comes around, it'll definitely be worth it.
And it's funny, I interview so many individuals who say, you know what? I was told no at the time. I didn't understand. I totally got it. I wasn't right for that. The person they chose was perfect. Are there any no's like that in your past where you're like, yeah, they made the right choice for that one?
I guess so. It's so hard like when you're auditioning for things because like sometimes it's not even, you could be a great actor and give a great interpretation of that character, but they could be looking for a specific look and you just don't fit that mold, or someone's that, a certain height because they've already cast the leading actor or something. I mean, there are like a million things that come into play, and, my dad always tells me like, there's no such thing as luck. Luck is when like preparation meets opportunity. So I feel like that's what you really just have to focus on.
We've got a lot of opportunities. You're prepared. Some might call it luck, but your daddy's right. That being said, we have one more question. Justice S. Walsh, what would you be doing right now if you weren't an actress?
Ooh.
Or a musician. You can't use that cop-out.
Yeah, I know. What would I be doing right now if I wasn't doing music or acting? Gosh, it's a really tough one. I mean, I don't know, something creative. It would have to be something creative. Like, I don't know, I love photography. I'd probably be in college, to be honest with you. I'd probably be studying psychology or English or taking writing classes. Yeah, studying film. I don't know. I'm so like immersed in like this is what I love. So.
You're doing well. You don't need to have plan B
Thanks.
just yet. Well, actually plan C, because you've got the music, got the acting. You've got all the wonderful facets of a fantastic person, a fantastic spokesperson for this great JetBlue initiative. And we're so grateful
thanks.
that you're here with us on our couch.
Thank you.
All right, everyone
Honored to
who's
be here.
watching, Naomi and Eli's No Kiss List premieres next week at Outfest in Los Angeles. And for more information on it, as well as JetBlue's Soar with Reading initiative, visit the links in our resource well for more. Thank you, it's been a pleasure. You're
Thank
fantastic.
you.
Oh, I get huggies.
Don't forget to read, guys. Reading is awesome.
Reading is awesome, all right.
It's true.
And don't forget to watch, because the conversation always continues here at HuffPost Live.